Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Town of Milton Board meeting. Today is January 26, 2022. I'd like to get the meeting started with the pledge by Councilman.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Dapper.
Present.
Councilman Foley.
Present.
Councilwoman Curran.
Present.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Present.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Present. At the reorganizational meeting, I advise the public that before we get started with our meeting this evening, that I would be addressing the residents of the town and what our plans are for the next 2 years. So at this time, I would like to start off, and if any of the council people would like to speak after I'm done, they can do so. These past 2 years have been a difficult time for our country, state, county, and the town of Milton. The COVID crisis had negatively impacted the lives of so many families, neighbors, and friends. No one has been untouched in some way, whether through illness, job loss, financial hardship, inflation, isolation, mask mandates, vaccines, and general fear of the unknown. It is a challenge in which we as a community are all still enduring. Through these uncertain times, our hardworking and dedicated employees in the town have managed to provide the level of service that you, the town of Milton residents, have come to expect. Unfortunately, our employees and residents have had to endure the inconvenience of a non-operating out of our town Milton Hall due to various safety issues. These issues have become increasingly complex and required far more time and money to rectify than originally anticipated. Throughout this time, the Ballston area seniors have been displaced, causing great inconvenience and distress to their organization. For this, we deeply apologize. We thank you profoundly for your long suffering and patience. The town hall renovation is nearly complete, and I'd like to thank the former supervisor, Benny Zlotnick, and Councilman John Froelich for their hard work on the Facilities Committee in getting this accomplished. I am pleased to announce that last week we made the first steps toward getting back into Town Hall and getting our seniors back into their community center, which they deserve. Our new Facilities Committee has been tasked with evaluating the rest of the building and planning for the future to ensure that this never happens again. As I enter a new administration as your supervisor, I look back at my first term and acknowledge that mistakes were made, lessons learned, and experience was gained. I would like to thank Councilwoman Barbara Kerr for accepting the position of Deputy Supervisor. Her hard work during this first month had made both valuable and instrumental in getting the administration off to a good start. Both Barb and I have shown that we can put our past differences behind us, work together, and although not always agree on every topic, help lead our town to a more vibrant and prosperous Milton. This is a new beginning for the town of Milton. We have begun to assemble committees made up of residents, employees, and board members, assigned in their area of expertise and tasked each to start a comprehensive review process to review our town needs and concerns of our citizens. Everything we wish to accomplish will take a collaborative effort between the town board, employees of the town of Milton, and Milton's residents. Our residents have a lot to offer with their ideas, expertise, diverse professional and personal backgrounds in the town. The transparent collaboration between the government and the residents is the only way for us to achieve the progress we all desire. I want to hear from all the residents. I pledge to you to help bring a new vision and level of urgency, cooperation, and civility to the town of Milton. Saratoga County has been one of the fastest growing economic sound counties in New York State. Milton is the third largest town in the county, and we are growing rapidly. It is imperative that we review and update our comprehensive plan from 2012 and to ensure that our priorities are reflecting not only our current needs, but our future as well. Our town center district is poised to receive an influx of business that we hope will not only improve the quality of life, but for all of our residents, but also build a vibrant community we can all be proud of. I will continue to work and expand our relationship with our friends and neighbors in the village of Balsam Spa. While they remain a separate municipality, we share services needed to benefit the residents of our communities. Our goal we share is common, and to continue to create business along the Route 50 corridor. This has the potential to create a flawless transition from Saratoga to Balsam Spa to help showcase the history and the beauty of the town of Milton, yet provide us with benefits of additional tax revenue to invest in our community. As a result of receiving COVID stimulus funds, the federal government will be able to provide and fund projects that benefit our residents that are allowable under the stimulus provisions. I'll be asking for input from the community to help assign these funds. I would like to improve and set goals for our open space committee that will attainably to ensure a R2 district remains sound. I will be looking to review and revamp our current town parks and to address the increasing recreational needs of children in our community and while maintaining a safe and healthy environment for all. Again, to accomplish this, we need a collaborative effort between the town board and you, the Milton residents. You've been longing to lend your voice and to help out put Milton back on the path to success. I'm very optimistic for the future of our town. Working with the team and committed council people and the residents in spirit of cooperation and communication, we will achieve our goals. I'm confident that with our efforts together, we will result in a much improved Milton. I'm humble and grateful to have returned to you as your supervisor, and I'm looking forward to serving you, the residents of the town of Milton. At this time, if any of the council people would like to address anyone within the town of any plans moving forward, they may do so at this time. Anyone? Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Along those same lines, I had made a statement last fall that I wanted to hear from the residents and then I would go live on Facebook or one of the other social media things. So I'm here tonight to say that if you go to Facebook and put in Milton Chat, that will be me. And what Milton Chat is, it's a forum where I can give you information about what's happening in the town. I want to get your input about what's happening in the town. It is not a political site in any way, shape, or form. I expect people to be respectful of others on the site because we all won't have the same views. But it's a good way to get the input from the town residents to me and to move our town to the right, in the right direction. Milton Chat on Facebook. And hopefully, I'm not a social guru, so I do want to get live at some point, but we have to work on that.
I just want to thank Supervisor Ostrander for his comments tonight. It's something I've been trying to do. I've been on this board for 10 years, and my short-term goals would be to clean up what's here right now, get it off our desk, and move forward for this town. I think we have some of the same ideas, looking at recreation and the comprehensive plan. And like he said, a board that can really work together, because I think that's the way we're going to be able to accomplish something. Thank you.
Yep, I've been looking further into the American Relief Plan Act, or also known as ARPA funds, which our comptroller has been sharing some details about and it's posted on our town website as well. I was able to attend a virtual meeting earlier this month hosted by the Treasury Department regarding the funds and what the final ruling states regarding how local governments can utilize those funds. For many different needs and accommodations, it appears that some of the restrictions have been loosened up a little bit. So I've been trying to look through what options might be available for the town to best utilize those funds. They can go down to households, small businesses, nonprofits, public safety, including police, fire departments, first responders, and so forth. We may just have to identify a public health or economic impact to be able to justify those funds being spent in that way. So my goal is to help come up with avenues for the town to best utilize the funds, and more than welcome to take into consideration any public feedback that we have as well.
You're right, Ryan. I spoke with the comptroller too, and Dave and I have been going over it. They pretty much, the ARPA funds, they pretty much loosened up the strings on that, and we pretty much can spend that on whatever, pretty much any projects or parks or anything. We've opened it up to pretty much anything now that we can spend that money. Additionally, what Councilman Froelich was speaking about in reference to public input, I put additional sheets out there, so if anybody has any additional comments or they would like to submit anything to the town board during the week or they need questions answered, they have a right to fill out the sheet. They can submit it, they can leave it on the desk, or they can just come in the town hall with the sheet during the week, and we'll address any of those issues as well. First on the agenda tonight is going to be public comment, and the first public comment is going to be on the agenda items only that everyone's picked up when they entered the building this evening. Public comment is self-explanatory. It's public comment. The board is not going to engage and go back and forth. Public comment we will take into consideration, and anything that needs to be addressed will be addressed. But public comment is public comment. And the only other piece of public comment I want to emphasize on, I know in the past that we've given 3 minutes to speak. I've decided that I've listened to the people, and a lot of people want more time to speak, and I get that, and we get that as a board. We're lifting that, so you have a chance to speak and say what you need to say, so I'm not saying 1 more minute, so everybody just gets a chance to say what they have to say, and in a timely manner. I don't want somebody standing up here for 20 minutes and then I have to say, can you please wrap it up? So with that said, our first on the agenda is public comment on the agenda only. The first public comment is now open. Mr. Ikalucci.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I noticed on the website, as of this afternoon, there were a lot of documents pertaining to this evening's meeting, and I just wanted to say thank you to whoever's directly involved in making sure that happens. I see Mr. Supervisor, you, town clerk, perhaps deputy town clerk, personal secretary. So whoever's there, thank you. I think that's very helpful to us in terms of getting a better sense of what it is you're going to be talking about at a given meeting. Specifically, I noticed there were 2 resolutions that are on the agenda for a vote tonight, Resolution 19 and Resolution 21. Both were printed on the website, so again, very helpful. There are a number of other resolutions, some of which appear to be pretty self-explanatory, but some of which I'm not sure what they mean. So, for example, Resolutions 20 and 22, if, as you go through them this evening, you could give a brief explanation as to what they are, I think that would be very helpful. Thank you.
I'll read both of them resolutions, because normally, because they're printed on the agenda, I would read the top of the resolution, but for 20 and 22, I'll read the resolution so people get a better understanding of what it's for. Anyone else for public comment? Not anyone? Hazel? No? Okay. First public comments now closed. Motion to accept the minutes from the December 22nd, 2021 board meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes?
Councilwoman Carter.
Yes,
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
I'll abstain. I was not present at that meeting. Motion to accept the minutes from the January 5th, 2022 organizational meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. First, a motion to set a public hearing on the R2 zoning changes at the February 23rd, 2022 Town Board meeting at 6:35 PM and refer to the planning board for them to provide a written comment prior to the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, Resolution 19 of 2022. Resolution containing certain real property tax exemptions into a tax year of 2022 pursuant to the governor's executive order.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, Resolution 20 of 2022. Resolution to allow scanned and emailed documents to be considered as placed on the desk of the intended recipient when they're conducting town business. Whereas the purpose of town business, certain state statutes and regulations require documents to be on the desk of board members to review by certain specified timeframes prior to the action being taken on them. And whereas being on the desk has typically been defined as actually being on the desk, hand-delivered, or mailed directly to the party intended. And whereas with the event of an email, documents are more often sent electronically and arrive much sooner than hand-delivered or regular mailing. As such, the definition of on the desk needs to be updated to include such delivery. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board does hereby authorize that email should be in an acceptable form of delivery of letters and documents to board members, and that upon the receipt of email of compliance with all statutes and regulations that require the documents be on the desk of the board member by a certain date and time frame. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 20.
I'll happily make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution 21 of 2022 for pilot with Rensola Power Holdings LLC and Eileen Ostro. Resolution authorizing payment in lieu of taxes agreement pilot with Rensola Power Holdings LLC and Eileen Ostro for a portion of property located at 6654 Middle Grove Road in the town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 21.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution number 22 of 2022. Resolution to adopt the Saratoga County COVID-19 guidelines. Whereas COVID pandemic has been an ongoing concern for the safety of the town employees and guests for the past several years. And whereas the county of Saratoga has in place a COVID-19 guideline aimed at addressing many of the issues associated with COVID-19. And whereas the town board believes it to be in the best interest of the town and the town employees and guests to follow the adopted COVID-19 guidelines issued by Saratoga County. Now be it resolved that the town board of the town of Milton hereby temporarily adopts the COVID-19 guidelines issued by Saratoga County, a full copy in which incorporated herein and attached hereto and any amendments issued hereafter if deemed satisfactory by the town supervisor, until such time the town supervisor deems it appropriate. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution 22.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Crowlish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution number 23 of 2022, to appoint Dave Drzezinski of 13 Wineberry Lane in Milton, New York, 12020, provisionally as a full-time animal control officer at a rate of $20.79 per hour, effective February 14th of 2022. Motion for resolution number 23.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Crowlish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution number 24 of 2022. Resolution appointing Lisa Marie Dapper to the Town of Milton Ethics Board with a term ending December 31st of 2027. Motion for resolution number 24.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Just want to say thank you for your service and for volunteering.
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Crowlish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution number 25 of 2022. Resolution appointing Jeffrey Servin to the Town of Milton Ethics Board with a term ending December 31st of 2026. Motion for resolution number 25.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
I just, again, thank you. I'm not sure if he's here tonight, but
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Crowlish.
I have to abstain as Jeffrey and his wife are good friends of myself and Judy.
Councilwoman Kerr.
yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, a motion to direct the town attorney to prepare a draft resolution for consideration by the board regarding the reasonableness of the rates charged by Heritage Springs Sewer Works, and further requesting each board member to provide their position on such to the town attorney within 3 weeks.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Supervisor, if I could just add to that, it'd be very helpful for me if each board member would get me in writing, email is fine, their position on the rates as far as the yearly rate and as far as the hookup fee rate. And the sooner the better, because that's going to be an important and lengthy resolution, and I need to have their position, and I need their basis for their determination as well.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Crowlish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, a motion to approve Majestics, 169 3rd Street, Troy, New York, 12180, to set up a temporary phone at the town hall at 503 Geyser Road at a cost of $1,690. That's a temporary phone fix until we can get our regular phone system up and running by Time Warner, right, John? Is that
Yes,
correct?
Spectrum is, if anybody's dealt with Spectrum, you know the problem.
So this is going to be a temporary phone system until such time that they can get us up and running full-time, which we're not sure, John, on that time frame. Correct? That's why we're going ahead with the temporary phone system. It could be a month, it could be 2 months, but we would like to get back into town hall, so that's why we're proposing this.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, a motion to approve Jason Miller to carry over 40 hours of vacation. A letter dated January 12th, 2022. Dear Town Board members, I'm requesting that 40 hours of my vacation time be carried over into the next year. Thank you in advance for your consideration, Jason Miller.
So moved. Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Oh. Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, second motion to approve Jason Miller to buy out 40 hours of vacation time. Employee Jason Miller, Department of Highway, dated 1/18 of 2022 in accordance with the Town Code 38-58, Part F, vacation leave. I, Jason Miller, am requesting to buy out 40 hours of vacation time. Employee signature Jason Miller, 1/18 of 2022, requesting to carry over, or correction to buy out 40 hours of vacation time.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Jason, take some vacation.
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, a motion to approve Sean Mulvaney to carry over 40 hours of vacation time. Letter dated January 12th, 2022. Dear Town Board members, I'm requesting that 40 hours of my vacation time be carried over into the next year. Thank you in advance for your consideration. Sincerely, Sean Mulvaney.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next will be the monthly reports and liaison reports and community or county committee reports. The first on the agenda is animal control, which hopefully within the next 2 months we'll have some good reports coming out of their office. With that, next building department liaison report, John.
No.
Okay, I'll read it. Dated January 4th of 2022, Supervisor Ostrander and the Town Board, reference to the Building Department report for January 2022. Dear Supervisor Ostrander and Town Board members, during the month of December, the Building Department processed 19 building permits and collected $5,845 in building permit fees. We completed 137 construction inspections, 15 fire safety inspections, and responded to 12 code enforcement complaints. A total of 37 permits were closed with 22 certificates of occupancy, 15 certificates of compliance being issued. We've also collected $1,000 in planning fees, respectfully submitted. Building Inspector William Lewis. Next, the Highway Department.
I actually have to apologize, Mr. Supervisor. I am buildings and grounds.
That's all right, I covered for you, John. No worries, brother.
First of the year, I must have lost my mind.
You were doing so well.
Highway, the Highway Department has been busy clearing the roadways from small but numerous ice and snow storms. They have already occurred this season. With frigid cold temperatures, rain, and wind, we have seen many treacherous roadway conditions already this season. Once our roadways are clear, we do send our crews out to push back the snow on the sides of the roadways and in intersections. The safety of the town residents is always one of our top priorities. The Highway Department has also been picking up Christmas trees. We urge residents that have not done so yet to please put your tree curbside as soon as possible for pickup. We ask the residents to remember the town code that prevents from parking in the roadways from November until April. This code makes sure the roadways are clear so we can't safely plow and do our jobs in an efficient manner. The highway department also makes sand and salt mix available to town residents during the winter months at 503 Geyser Road. The sand and salt mix will only be available to town residents on a first-come basis. The sand and salt mix may only be taken in 5-gallon buckets or containers.
Thank you, John. The buildings and grounds, the board has not received a report from buildings and grounds. The comptroller's budget versus actual report, cash balance and detailed transition report has been filed with the board. Next, the historian report. Karen?
Looks like we're on. Can everybody hear me?
No.
No?
You're not on.
It's not.
Really close?
I don't think it's on.
Well, the green light's on.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. It's on now, I think. No?
It's on, it's supposed to be on, you got the light on,
The light's on.
Probably have to talk a little louder. Or turn the podium around.
Yeah. The box in front of you, is that turned on?
On the backside, there's a button.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
No,
No?
it's up there.
Right.
Backside, the button on the backside?
Yes.
Right. I can come back on.
John, you got that color in there.
Can you hear me now? All right, good, all right. I continue to work at home, answering several research requests, and this month, my annual report for 2021, was submitted to the town board and as well as the county and state historians. I also continue to document the COVID-19 pandemic. The county COVID dashboard, as of this past Saturday, our county has 1,744 active cases, and there has been a total of 12,085 new cases in 1 month, which is up 4,000 from 4,000 the month before. So, anyway, the town of Milton total cases are now 2,869, which is an increase of 906 from last month. In the village of Balsam, the total number of cases are 852, which is an increase of 280 over the past month. And there's currently 75 people hospitalized, which is up from 45 a month ago. Sadly, there's been 31 deaths over the past month in our county. This month I received the annual report from the Kesslering site that was submitted to the New York State Office of Parks and Recreation and Historic Preservation dated January 5th, 2022. It outlines all the 18 projects that were done at the site this past year, in addition to the regular upkeep to the grounds and building exteriors. He also demolished 5 buildings over this past year there. But they have almost 100 buildings to begin with. So, on February 7th, next week, I'll be presenting a Zoom presentation for the Galway Preservation Society entitled Forgotten Crossroads, Rock City Falls. And if you'd like to see the program, let me know and I can get you the Zoom link. The next Historic Structures and Places Committee will meet Thursday, February 17th, here at the Community Center, or maybe Town Hall, I'm not sure yet. Anyone interested in our local history is welcome to attend. And we recently talked about some cemetery issues in the 250th anniversary of the Revolutionary War celebration, with hopes to create a town celebration committee sometime early in 2022. I'll be talking with the county historian regarding the America 250 celebration and what we need to do on the town level. The Saratoga County History Roundtable is having in-person meetings now, and they are also being broadcast on Facebook Live. Feel free to attend any of these programs. They're usually well advertised in the paper as well as on the Brookside Facebook page. The weekly stories that have been printed in the newspapers are still being printed, and about 25% of those authors have no experience and have never submitted a story before. There might be a story out there that you might want to tell. So contact me for more info on how to do that if you would like to do that. The new book entitled Saratoga County Stories is still available, and they've sold over 375 copies of that book already, and they can be purchased anytime at Brookside when they're open, and their winter hours are Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4. So you can go to the Brookside website to get more upcoming events. There's too many to mention here, so there's some good programs coming up. Respectfully submitted, Karen Stalkers.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Next, the town clerk register.
I know, I'm really missing.
Is it working yet?
That's it, tell me out. That was-
All right. Ready? Is it working? No. All right. For the, whoa, there. Okay. For the month of December, we had 3 marriages, 6 certified marriage certificates, 35 certified death certificates, 1 FOIL and search of records request, 87 dog licenses, 14 online dog license, and the town share was $1,886.89.
Thank you, Brenda. Next, town court, Barb.
Total fine, the money collected and remitted to the state controller, fines were $3,155, surcharges $2,905, civil fees $327.50, for a total of $6,387.50.
Thank you, Barb. Next, the town tax collector, Lisa. John, I might have that fixed now. Try it first. Lisa, you want to try that mic? I think that might have the volume there.
Can anybody hear me?
No.
Closer?
It's not,
You it's working? Okay. So you want me to use that one?
I don't know.
I don't know if we dare. We'll get you back up if you're afraid. First up, I want to just go and make sure that is working. Did everybody get my updated report?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, the 2022 property tax bills were mailed out on December 30th, 2021. So if anybody hasn't received them yet, they should be contacting me to find out where they are. My phone number, direct dial phone number is area code 518-884-2765. Taxes collected from January 1st to January 26th total $3,022,020.95. As of January 26th, 36% of taxes have been collected. Please be advised that tax payments can be made using the following methods. You can mail them to us at 503 Geyser Road, Ballston Spa, New York, 12020, the regular address. But be sure to include your phone number on your checks in case I need to reach you. To make payments directly to me, you can visit the community center listed here, use the front entrance. And my office hours are in January, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 p.m. Until January 31st. So you may also use the secure drop box, which is located just to the left of the front door. You may also make payments online by visiting www.egov.basny.com/Milton. When you get to that page, the box is going to come up asking you for information. The easiest way to find your bill is just type your last name in the owner field. Don't try to fill out all the information. You'll never find your bill. There are fees, however, for paying online. If you pay with a major credit card, it's at 2.45%. If you pay with a debit card, it's a flat $3.95, and if you pay with an e-check, it's a flat $1.75. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me by phone, by email, any way you can.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, all you
Next, planning and zoning, Ryan.
The planning board met on January 19th. One of the items before them was to consider reviewing code section 180-38 pertaining to farm animals on non-farm operated parcels, which is what we had voted on this evening to consider for public hearing. We'll have recommendations for the town board after the planning board holds their February meeting. So we should have that in time for next month. There's also a continued public hearing regarding the proposed subdivision on 240 or at 240 Greenfield Avenue. The public had continued concerns and brought up some topics which appear to have been repeat, some new, regarding potential wetlands, vegetation, buffers, number of structures, possible impacts to existing wells in nearby neighborhoods, straight road entrance and exit, mail kiosk, and a variation of structures being a non-cookie cutter development, and more. The public hearing was adjourned. Will continue during their February meeting so that the planning board can look into potential concerns and provide some details where possible. And then the zoning board will be meeting tomorrow night, so I'll have an update for everyone at next week's meeting.
Thank you, Ryan. I have two county committees. I have two issues. The first is the hearing on the airport has been rescheduled to February 9th at the county building at 4:40 p.m. And also, I just want to announce that the Board of Supervisors have approved a $2 million non-for-profit grant. They're handing out $2 million. This week I tried to get around to most of our non-for-profits in the town. Dropped off paperwork to them, and they're eligible anywhere from $500 to $50,000 per grant. So any of the non-for-profits that I might have missed, if you know anyone, feel free to let me know and I'll make sure I get it back to them. Next, any old business?
Want me to give an update?
Yes, that'd be good, thanks.
Okay, Town Hall, where we're at. Last week, we did the final walkthrough at Town Hall. Made up the punch list. I think the punch list as of today is probably 60% completed. Most of the things on the punch list are very minor. We have two things that won't be done before we move back into Town Hall. The final sewer pump station will not be in. That won't be in until March. What we have done is put in a temporary tank until that comes in and we'll have it pumped. Like I say, Spectrum has been very difficult to work with. We did finally get them to come run the fiber optics into the building, but now we got a foot of connection in between and it has to go through engineers. So what we are doing is we will be still on our old phone system until they get in, but our old phones will still be working. As said, Supervisor Ostrander said, what you see here with the red curtains, we did have the seniors come back to the community center with half of this, and we are right now looking at setting the final, orchestrating the final move, which will be within the next 2 weeks. That's where that stands.
Karen, I have one more county issue I want to address with you. The Deceased Veterans Program. They said that that will be resuming as soon as possible due to COVID. They couldn't give us a date, but they said hopefully within the next few months, the Deceased Veterans Program at the county will pick up once again.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other new business? Anyone? No new business? Public comment number 2 on any town business. Yes, sir.
I probably won't need the mic. My name is Tony Zanella, Stone Church Road. I would ask the supervisor if he can provide us with some answers on Resolution 19, 2022, which says certain real property tax exemption in the town into tax year 2022. Do you have any idea what they are or who they are for?
Vibrant.
Yeah, so the governor is allowing the assessor to not make the residents come in with their tax return for the senior aged exemption. So if you have it, it just carries over. You're not going to have to come in and show your income again. That's what the governor passed again.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay?
Mhm.
Karen McCutcheon.
I probably don't need the mic either. Do I need the mic? I have two issues. One, I want to reiterate that there is an important meeting at the county level on February 9th at 4:40. Please, anyone who has any interest in what goes on at the airport, please show up. This is an important meeting about hangars and leases. They're looking to extend the leases over there to 40 years. One in particular, they're not even raising the rate. They're keeping it $1,541.88 a month for the next 40 years, which I find a little concerning. But it's more important that anybody who has any interest in why a private entity would be so interested in building $1 million hangars for single planes, people should show up. It's very concerning. We have said for a long time now that that airport just wants to expand. And it's not just beyond the gate, it's inside those gates. It's important. The other concern I had was during the organizational meeting for 2022 committees at this level in the town. I noticed in particular a lot of employees are on committees, but importantly, I think the handbook committee for employees has 3 employees on it and 2, Mariana Thoxon and Barbara Kerr on it. And I'm concerned that, I mean, I don't understand, I guess, how municipalities work. I only understand how the private sector works, since I worked in the private sector for over 40 years. And I've never seen an employee be part of writing their own handbook. So I have a little bit of concern about that. It almost doesn't smell right to me. It feels like it's the fox inside the henhouse. So I think we should be very careful and read everything very carefully to make sure everything stays within good guidelines, especially following the county, because when Barbara Kerr and I worked on the handbook, most of the things we concerned ourselves with is what happens at the county level, and we'd like to follow that, I think. That's all I have for now. Thank you, and good luck to the new board.
Thank you.
What was that? What was the date on this?
Yeah.
February 9th?
Good night.
Good night.
February 9th.
Brenda Bear, the Ethics Committee Chair. I just wanted to thank the board for seamlessly helping us get our board filled again. COVID has been quite hard on this little board that we mainly don't do a lot other than checking through what's there and making sure that nothing needs changes. So I wanted to thank the board for helping us get people back on it. This is the second time we've had to rebuild it since COVID, so hopefully this will work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brenda. Anyone else? Anyone on Zoom, Brenda? Tom Bogosian.
What would be a meeting, Mr. Supervisor, if I didn't get up and say something? First off, welcome back. Great to have you back here. My first comment, I'm watching the clock. I think this board just did more work in 30 minutes than the previous board did in several months. So thank you very much, not the least of which was to impanel a complete ethics board. Thank you. Thank you for setting the meeting times earlier. It's great. That extra time, 6:30, appreciate it. I love seeing the attendance too. Great to have more residents here. But more specifically to your opening remarks and as to the goals that you're setting for the town of Milton. I appreciate those, I applaud those. I also appreciate the comments from Councilman Froelich and Councilwoman Herb. It's time that we put Milton back on a path to success, and positive things are difficult to achieve. I stand ready, and I hope other residents stand ready with you to work on them, because the work is in the actions of getting them in place. It's great to set them. Now our next step is to work diligently to bring them about. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the extra minute or so. It's difficult to communicate what you want to a board, and a lot of people that are in the public are not experienced public speakers, and they get up here and it's difficult for them to gather their thoughts and communicate it to the board and to do it clearly and concisely. So the extra time is greatly appreciated. Thank you and welcome back.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Being that said, public comment number 2 is now closed. There'll be no executive session this evening. Therefore, no other business to come before the board. A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isakson?
Yes.
Councilman Froelich?
Yes.
Councilman Milton?
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell?
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Our next board meeting will be February 23rd.